There was an article in the Washington Post yesterday which finally admitted something that we've been saying for years, which is that the Democrats are just utterly lost on messaging. So the title of the article is, "As Trump shakes them up with tweets, Democrats are flummoxed." And they explain how Democrats simply can't generate the kind of enthusiasm and coverage that Trump can. Trump will tweet something and the Democrats try to respond to it with like cutesy phrases and it just falls flat. And it comes across as corny and cheesy and nobody likes it. So some of the examples they give in the article are the ones that we've pointed out before. Remember when Hillary was in the debate with Trump and she like paused while saying, you know, it used to be trickled down economics. Now it's trumped up trickle down. And across the country, collectively, you heard, wah, 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 wah. It's not, and they point this out in the article too, you're using the old playbook and the old way of messaging like it's 1982, and you're expecting it to click with an audience that ain't there anymore. You're using a strategy. I mean, it's like fucking turning on Matlock for a bunch of 18-year-old kids. They're like, what the fuck is this? I'm not going to watch this shit. Why would I watch this? There's better shit to watch. So Donald Trump, and they still don't get it, man. The reason why Donald Trump generates all this attention and the reason why he's able to get away with a lot of the shit he gets away with is because he's not scripted. He's not fucking scripted. It's that simple. So yeah, the guy's got a Twitter feed, and yeah, the guy goes off, and for all the lampooning of, you know, tisk tisk, I don't think that this is presidential. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you think about presidential or not. I'm going to say some shit because it's what I'm thinking and it's what I'm feeling. And yes, he is a child. And yes, I do make fun of him for those tweets. But they do generate the headlines. And it is somebody who, as ridiculous as he is, as buffoonish as he is, as much as he has a fucking meerkat on his head, he's saying some shit that's real in each tweet. He actually watched Meryl Streep rip him on TV, and then he goes on and says, overrated. Even though, by the way, in 2015, he was like, she's tremendous, I love her so much. But that's what it is, whereas, you know, on the Democratic side, you got guys like fucking Tim Kaine, who's like, you know, what we need is, he really said this, we need a you're hired president, not a you're fired president. You get it? He was in The Apprentice and he told people that they were fired. Me and my team of 43 writers came up with that. Don't you love it? No, we hate it and we hate you. Go away. Go away, fucking whole wheat vanilla man. I mean, that guy, Jesus, man, it's more entertaining watching a bowl of oatmeal sit there or watching paint dry than listening to Tim Kaine give a speech. And you got establishment Democrats acting like, he's the future of the party. Oh, yes, the future of the party is more losses to idiots like Donald Trump because we have Tim Kaine. So they're so out of touch. They're completely and utterly out of touch. So here's my advice to them. Stop doing what you're doing and do the exact opposite. That's seriously my advice to them. So just to give another example, yesterday, there was a big football game on. My Twitter feed, I don't even follow people that are into sports, and my Twitter feed was fucking lit up with something about this football game. You can see how much I'm into it. I'm just calling it that football game instead of talking about what it was. Alabama versus I don't give a fuck. So that was on. Bernie Sanders was doing a town hall on CNN where if you're a progressive and you actually care about policy substance and you're into politics and you're a junkie, what are you going to watch? So a lot of the country is watching this football game. The remaining people who are actually political junkies were watching Bernie Sanders town hall. And President Obama is giving a speech tomorrow, which is today. I'm talking about when it was last night. So he's giving a speech tonight about, you know, his farewell address or whatever. Then you got Trump giving a press conference tomorrow. So you got all these things lined up. Jeff Sessions' hearing is today. A busy schedule that's already busy. And what do the Democrats do? They go, we're going to hold the floor on the Senate and talk about how we shouldn't repeal Obamacare. You pick that day, the day when everything ever is happening. You pick that day. And they said, we're going to hold it until we can't hold it anymore. How long did they hold it? 5 hours. Remember when Rand Paul did his Stand with Rand thing? How long did he do? For 20-something hours? Is that what he did? Ted fucking Cruz held it for a really long time. So you guys plan this big, we're going to fight back. Let's pick a day where there's a really popular football game on and Bernie Sanders is doing a town hall and then Jeff Sessions' hearing is the next day and Obama gives a speech. So even if it landed in the media, you're not going to get a news cycle. You're not going to get a full news cycle because it's going to be cut off by Jeff Sessions' hearing and Obama's speech and Trump's speech as well. So why would you pick that day? So you're blowing your load early, son. They're doing the whole, we're gonna obstruct, and we're gonna make sure that they don't repeal Obamacare. Why are you doing it before the vote's even happening? And why are you doing it at this awkward time? And why did you only hold the floor for 5 hours? Because they're ineffectual and they don't know what they're doing. And fucking CNN barely touched their story. You know what you got to do? Look, again, they would say, that breaches decorum, good sir. You think the old rules still apply? Look who's fucking president, you idiots. You gotta go, for example, go on Twitter, go on a fucking tweet storm, keep it 100% real about what would happen with Obamacare, have a bunch of facts in there, 30 million people are gonna lose their health care, and throw in some curses. On the curses alone, the media will start covering it. Did Chuck Schumer just say fuck on Twitter? Did he say, I can't believe these fucking Republicans are going to take healthcare away from 30 million people? Now, yeah, they're covering the fact that you said fuck, breach decorum. But the people are going to go, he's kind of keeping it real about that one now, isn't he? Yeah, he said fuck in the tweet. Whatever, I've said it. We're adults here. But he also said in the same tweet, 30 million people are going to lose healthcare. That's true. That's true. That lands. So they don't know what they're doing. They're out there acting like it's the 1980s. They're out there, I'm going to talk with, and another thing they point out in the article, you know how many releases they've done from their office where they write like these articles which are super long and have flowery rhetoric and nobody reads them? They do that all the time. I'm going to object to what the Republicans are doing, and to show how angry I am, I'm going to release on my website, which nobody reads, a long article which is way too wordy, which nobody will read. Like, this is how you fight? I mean, look at what Trump did. Trump takes odious ideas and he marries them with good strategy. Remember when he did, I'm calling for a complete and total shutdown of Muslims into the U.S. He did a release on his website where it said, a total and complete shutdown in like the first fucking sentence. Now, horrible idea. He grabbed headlines because he knew how to do it. Democrats, the exact opposite. They're way too wordy, way too long, way too out there in the weeds in the wilderness, way too wonky. Strategy sucks. They're not aggressive enough. We need Democrats with backbone. We need Democrats who aren't corrupt, unlike this party. And we need them to get all new strategists. They just staffed the DNC with the same idiots who lost to Donald Trump. That's the last group of people I would ever hire. They're the least qualified in the country to tell you how to combat Trump and be the resistance. So they're still showing that they're going to go in the wrong direction. You got to stop. You got to let the Bernie wing take over. You got to let the people who understand messaging and who understand the base get in control and get in power. Because if you don't have those people, we're in our own Mitt Romney moment right now. You know, Mitt Romney, who the Republican base was even like, ugh. Because he's a robotic guy who doesn't have any core beliefs and he's just a corporate puppet. Well, that's what Hillary Clinton is. A robotic woman who has no core beliefs, who's just a puppet. And what happens? The base was disheartened to the Republican Party with Romney. Now the base is disheartened with the Democratic Party, with Hillary Clinton, and with all the other establishment Democrats who are trying to hold on to power. You got to get them out of power, and that's the only way we have a fighting chance. If they stay in power, they're going to keep rolling over. The Republicans are going to keep getting what they want, and their resistance is going to be wholly ineffectual. You know, we could give you the playbook to obstructing all the horrible things Trump is going to do. But even if you saw it, you wouldn't follow it because you just dismiss us as not having proper decorum and naive and childish, and you would lose while you hold on to your fake dignity.